Well, Job Corps was not what I thought it would be. It did have some excitement to it, and I did gain some friends, and I was doing good at school and the training. I first went to certified nurse's aide, but then I changed to building maintenance, which covers sheetrock and electrical, plumbing. Jack of all trades, but master of none. You learn about all these different trades, but you do not become a master in any of them. And that's what I ended up taking. Anyway, it was rough. It really was. This was the first time I was really around blacks and Mexicans and all different races. And there was a lot of blacks that didn't like whites. A lot of drugs, a lot of violence. And I found it very hard. I actually watched a guy who gained authority to tell people what to do, like road call and chores. And the blacks didn't like that, and they beat him. They broke his legs in Kansas City. I saw that. I got the hell out of there. I was scared. But that guy ended up coming back like a month later in a wheelchair with his legs in cast. The people who did it, a couple of them got kicked out of Job Corps. The rest of them were still there, and he came back. And I went up to him and I said, like, what are you doing here? I'm just wondering. And he goes, like, I ain't letting no motherfucker keep me from my education. That's what he said. Couldn't believe it. But, yeah, I only made it 3 months. That's it. When I first got there, I was tricked. A lot of the people, they weed out the weaklings, I guess you want to call it. Told me that we were government owned and you couldn't leave and all this stuff. And I'd already been in the institute. I was not going to be at some place that I couldn't leave. And they scared me. So I left. I mean, I got my shit and I left. And I left for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Nobody came after me, nothing. And then I walked back up there. I wasn't in trouble for leaving, and I knew then that they had lied to me. They did that shit just to scare me into leaving, which almost worked. It almost worked. That was a way for them to weed out, you know, the ones that get scared easily, the weak ones, you know, and it worked. But I did come back. But I was only there for 3 months. And in the end, there was some blacks, the ones who hurt that guy and broke his legs, they threatened to break my legs. They kept fucking with me, and I kept ignoring it, but they kept doing it worse and worse, like breaking into my room. They had a key to all the rooms because the rooms were locked during the day, and they went in there and pissed on my bed, put shaving cream, cut my speakers, and it was really bad. And they didn't do it just to me. They did it to other people too. But when they threatened to break my legs, I got scared. So I knew I needed to get out of there. So what did I do? I pretend like I had a mental breakdown. And since they then knew about, I told them about I had been in the institute. And when they checked, they could verify that. And so for the very first time, usually a person doesn't get a medical release. They actually have to go through paperwork and then, you know, they get discharged and then they get a bus ticket and all this. No, they actually drove me to my house. They drove me all the way there. But once you get a medical discharge from Job Corps, you can never come back. You understand? You're banned from there. But it was worth it because I didn't want my legs broken. And I didn't see any other way out. So I used my illness in that case. And the only time I ever used my illness as an excuse for something. But I was terrified. No doubt about it. I mean, I was crying because I could see it happening. If I stayed, they would have done it. Just like they did the other guy. So, anyway, then I end up going back home. So, next I'll tell you about what happened then. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. And it's just me keeping it real. Bye.